For the last few years, we've been obsessed with a single question: are we going back to the office? But while we were busy arguing over Zoom calls and return to office mandates, the very floor beneath the global economy started to rot. We thought the problem was empty desks. We were wrong. The real problem is that the people who sit in those desks are being hollowed out by a force far more efficient than a virus. Welcome to the dark AI thesis. Consider this. Vornado, one of the titans of the New York skyline, has seen its value plummet by roughly 80% from its pandemic highs. It's not alone. This isn't a temporary dip. It's a structural demolition. And right now, a $1.26 trillion debt wall is screaming toward us, set to hit in 2027. We are witnessing the slow-motion collapse of commercial real estate. To understand how we get out of this, or if we even can, we have to look at this not as a market cycle, but as a biological breakdown. The injury. Every collapse starts with a trauma. For the city, that was the pandemic. Before 2020, office vacancy was a boring 12%. Today, San Francisco is at 24.7%. Seattle is at 27%. National demand for office space has cratered by 30%. We've heard the recovery story, but the data says otherwise. We didn't just try remote work, we proved it worked. Years of investment in the cloud, Amazon Web Services, Slack, Zoom, had already loaded the gun. COVID just pulled the trigger. The cultural reset is permanent. 64% of remote workers say they'd rather quit than give up their flexibility. When bosses tried to force people back in 2025, attendance only budged by a pathetic 1 to 3%. The workers called the bluff. The infection. If the pandemic was the injury, the debt maturity wall is the infection that's now reaching the bloodstream. Commercial real estate doesn't work like your home mortgage. These are 5 to 10 year loans with balloon payments due at the end. Owners took out these loans when money was cheap, around 3 to 4%. Now they have to pay them back or refinance at 6% or 7%. The math simply doesn't work. The building's income can't cover the new debt. Banks are currently playing a game called extend and pretend, delaying the inevitable to avoid admitting the loss. But you can only pretend for so long. By 2027, over $1.2 trillion in debt will hit its limit. This infection is spreading to your local bank. Nearly 51% of all US commercial real estate debt is held by financial institutions, specifically smaller regional banks. If the buildings fail, the banks feel the heat. Organ failure. Now here is the part most analysts are too scared to talk about. This is the final boss of the crisis: artificial intelligence. If remote work reduces the demand for office space, AI is reducing the demand for the people who occupy it. The sectors that fill our skyscrapers, finance, law, consulting, are the exact sectors AI is disrupting the most. The data is already terrifying. Employment for young workers in AI-exposed roles fell 16% between late 2022 and 2025. For junior software developers, it's a 20% drop. AI allows one senior analyst to do the work that used to require a whole team of associates. We are hollowing out the entry-level workforce. The career ladder is missing its bottom rungs. If there are no junior employees to train, who is going to rent those offices in 5 years? The city doom loop. This all leads to what economists call the doom loop. 1. Office values drop, down 30% already. 2. Tax revenue vanishes because cities rely on commercial property taxes. 3. City services get cut, making the city less attractive. 4. People leave, causing values to drop even further. What about converting offices into apartments? It sounds great on paper. In NYC, conversion projects are exploding, up to 4.1 million square feet in 2025 alone. But here's the cold truth. Even if we converted every possible building, it would barely move the needle on vacancy. Most offices have floor plans that make for terrible windowless apartments. It's a pressure valve, not a cure. Winners and losers. So, where does the money go now? The map of wealth is being redrawn. The losers. Traditional office REITs, older Class B office buildings, and gateway cities like San Francisco, Chicago, and London that are heavy on artificial intelligence exposed jobs. The winners. Data center and AI infrastructure. The same technology killing the office is creating an insatiable hunger for physical server space. Also, Sunbelt cities like Dallas and Miami, which are seeing growth in sectors AI hasn't touched yet. The assumption that the office will always be the engine of a city's value is dead. We are moving into a world where capital values pixels and power over desks and lobbies. Cities have survived fires, plagues, and wars. They will adapt. But as the entry-level white-collar job begins to disappear into the cloud, we have to ask ourselves, if a city is no longer a place where you go to start a career, what is it actually for?